Hello, everybody. This is going to be a quick demo on equality as it pertains to strings, and you're going to need to deal with this. The difference between the equals operator and the equals method on strings in assignment 4. So let's talk about it. Hopefully, you've all cloned your repo for assignment 4. As you can see, this is being shot in the spring of 2021. And so if you're watching this from the future, your assignment may have changed a little. Hopefully the vaccine rolled out well and we're all together again. So in here you'll find assignment 4 in the assignment 4 package. You'll find your zombie data file, which you're going to read in all the data and then display your zombies on the screen. You also find this practice 4 package, which has an equality file in it and class in it, and it has a main that prints out a bunch of things. We're going to rebuild this demo in a little bit simpler form, and then we'll revert back to this. But it's going to tell you do not use equals for strings. Don't use this syntax right here. You're going to want to use a equals b. So you're going to want to use this syntax right here when you're dealing with strings, both in this assignment and pretty much always in your career as a computer scientist or whatever field you choose. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to delete these. How you delete a line in Eclipse is you hit Control D. That's likely going to be, it's probably Command D on the Mac. So anytime you say Control D on Windows or Linux, oftentimes you can try the command version on the Mac. Okay, so first let's do int x and extent. And when I start typing a thing, a method, you can see that it starts to give you some candidates here. I can just hit enter at any moment and it'll give me the top one. We're going to edit this to say X. Now, obviously, when you're prompting the user for information, you'll give them perhaps better prompts so that they know more specifically what you want. This is going to be a simple example where we're going to ask for X and Y. And then I'm going to print out, and again, so there's this thing called Content Assist that you may have seen through some of the videos. And it's sort of the same thing with ap.nextInt. I can hit Control Space and sort of cycle through what it has. It's sort of giving them to me anyways, or I can say next boolean. There's also some special ones where I can type sys out and hit Control Space, and that'll give me system.out.println, which is a nice feature. This may be shadowed by, I believe it's Control Space also on the Mac, but it may be shadowed by Spotlight. So if you want this behavior, because life is too short to type things out, you can say Eclipse Content Assist Mac into your favorite search engine. It will take you to a page which will help you to get this magic set up to some other key binding so you can still use Spotlight and Mac. Well, with that, so sorry for that aside, hopefully, but life is too short to type out the full system.out.println every time. So let's print out X equals Y here. And what we're expecting is if we send in the same 2 values here, this should print true. And if they're different, they should print false, right? So let's try that out. I'm going to run this and let's just put in 1. So we can all see that it's 1 and enter, and then 2 and enter. And so you can see it printed out false. So that's exactly how we want it to work. Let's hope if we do the same and they're the same value, like 1 and 1, it'll print out true. And so that all makes sense. Everything's pretty reasonable there. And now I'm going to just comment these out. And again, I can I can move the cursor up to the beginning of the line and then hit Shift while I press down, and it will swipe all those lines. And I can hit Control and this / character, and that will comment on a line. I can swipe them all and uncomment them. And so that's another nice little feature. Not related to string equality, but it's good to learn how to use your tools a little better. So let's do this now for strings. So everything behaved well for integers, and so we're happy about that. Let's do next args processor.next string, and enter, and I'm like a, and again, provide good messages to your user so they know what you're asking for. This is obviously a simple example. We're going to get A and B. Let's sys out A and sys out B just so we can see what they are. And then system out A equals B. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to type in thread and George. It's going to print out Fred, George, and false. That all makes sense. They're different strings. They should not equal each other in any sense, right? Let me do this again, and I'm going to type in Fred and Fred. And I think it would be perfectly reasonable for Fred and Fred to be true for this, but that's not how that works, okay? And so the equals operator in Java, the sort of semantics for this operation is that are they the exact same string in memory? Are they the exact same instance of string? A lot of times that the compiler is working very hard to make the same contents of strings be the same. In this case, it can't figure out how to do that, or it's not doing that for you. So although their contents are the same, they are not the same string. So it's going to return false. That is it's very reasonable to be confused by that, I'll say. So nicely, all objects have this other, all objects, excuse me, which string is an object, color, which we're going to use in the zombie assignment, is also an object. You're going to learn a lot about objects in this class, have an equals method, right? We can say, does this equal some other object? And we print this out, right? And I type Fred, Fred. You can see that while the equals was false, a.equals b was true. And so this is what we're going to use in the zombies assignment when we're trying to figure out whether or not something is a zombie or not when we're reading it from the file. But you'll use this much more regularly in your computer science career or whatever career, like I was saying, that you choose. So that's that. Let's go back. One of the nice things with Git is that you can always roll back to your previous commits really easily. So let me go to the commit dialog. You can see that I've changed this equality. Let's roll back, replace with head revision on that, discard the changes that I made and bring us back to the version we had before I typed that lovely demo. And when I run this and I type Fred and Fred, you can see that it's going to print out a bunch of things, including I'm going to wrap them in quotes so we can see there's no spaces at the end or anything like that. Like these have the exact same contents in them. We do, not recommended. Do not use equals for string. It will give you strange behavior. But do use this a=b syntax. It will give you the semantics that you want. And with that, good luck on the assignment, and we'll be here to help.